doing for the last bunch of years. We just haven't, at the department level, we haven't implemented these things. We've let it fall through the cracks over the years. We can buy, assuming that there's not a discount of something here, it shows that the packs are $6,300 for the pack. It shows the bottles are how much they are, the masks are how much they are. So once again, these things all fit together, which they should. We could, next year, buy 5 new packs. I'm just saying, you could buy 5 new packs, assuming that this, and forget about the fact that things go up, and that might be $30,000, and then we'd have 5 new ones to go with what we have now, and then the year after that, I'm still giving the bottles of masks, the year after that, buy 5 more new packs. That's another way to look at this instead of buying $200,000 worth of stuff right now and all those packs right now. It's just another potential way to upgrade as we go along. I got a couple more things. It says here that when we first bought the CBAs, there was no maintenance contract with Scott Safety, leaving the maintenance and repair to us. If we were to do the full shot here, do you know whether then there would be any maintenance thing with Scott or with anybody?
Yep, so in the event that you purchase new air packs, going forward is a thing Scott started this year, well, 2019 or 2018. With the purchase of every new pack, it's free maintenance for life. Not maintenance for life. So parts, warranty, everything is covered. Pack maintenance is something we pay for, and I think it's a budget line item for things that we do. It comes out of maintenance. But I hate to speak on that.
Pack maintenance is expensive. So anyways,
right, but it's something we have to do. But as far as like you break things, obviously if it's not grossly negligent, they're gonna pay for it. Which right now we got 2 packs out of service due to the fact that it's over $2+ grand to repair. So obviously and they're things that would have been covered under warranty. Had we had it, just for an example.
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to get to this specifically. So I'm wondering how that maintenance agreement or whatever will work, whether that warranty will cover maintenance, whether it will cover repair, whether it will cover labor, whether it will cover parts. I'm just interested in how that is all going to play, because that's another factor in something we would get if we did the whole spiel. So I'm still not quite sure what that.
Right, I'm not sure the 100% breakdown as far as if it covers that. It's of my understanding that we still pay for the maintenance costs to have them come out, do pack checks, so that we have the document that these were checked on these dates. Okay. God forbid anybody gets injured. Yeah. That is my understanding of it. I could be wrong, but that's my understanding of it. But all as far as parts and things like that go, it's lifetime warranty, straps, the whole line.
Okay. But still, that when those things go, so it has to be paid to put that in. I'm just wondering about the labor of doing all that, whether that's part of this agreement. Just curious about how that goes.
Yeah, the only thing I can speak to, just because I've been in the department since we've had these air packs, for the first couple years or whatever, it was very limited as far as what needed to be done. Obviously, something new, just like buying a new car. Oil changes, tire rotations, and maybe a couple brake jobs are good. So I guess that's kind of how we look at it on our end standpoint is, yes, it's very expensive, and we, full-heartedly thank everyone for taking the opportunity to look at this, because again, it's not something that we take lightly, and we're kind of not shocked, but we're kind of in a weird spot. Plus, kind of asking for that kind of money is a lot, especially with the taxpayers and everything like that. And that's the last thing we want to do is put a burden on anybody in that sense. But we also look at it from a cost-effective standpoint, obviously. With it's a lot of money up front, but what are we gaining as we go along? The safety features and a couple other things.
So I want to point out a discount. If we do that, I'm not advocating for anything, but if we do the $199,000 thing, we are getting 25 free bottles. So so instead of paying for 50 bottles, I know we're only buying 39 in this other proposal, but instead of paying for 50 new bottles, if we do the 199, 25 of them are free, which is $28,875. Just pointing that out, that we do get the 25 free bottles. That was one of the advantages of that particular decision.
25 on top of what we purchased.
In this $199,000 proposal, if you read the line items, we're paying for 25 bottles and they're giving us 25. So you're actually getting...
You get a free spare, is essentially what...
You get a spare, but over here in our $52,000, we're paying the standard $11.55 per bottle, which was, I just said, there we're not getting any free bottles. We're paying for all 39 bottles. Over here we are getting $28,000 worth of free bottles. That's not an argument to do that. It's just, I just want it to be understood that that's a piece of this deal.
Other thing quickly, I guess, just because Rusty just reminded me something, sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting you. As part of that, speaking to that, the other thing that we did get as part of the quote through MES and through Scott Safety for the air packs is a pretty expensive feature if you were going to buy it off the street that they were going to throw in for free as well, is a pack tracker. I don't know if Chief Morris spoke about this at all. So essentially what it is we're going to have the ability, and through a grant we have tablets, we're putting them in each one of our trucks to show I'm responding, which is a thing we use to see if members, marks all the hydrants throughout the village and everything like that for water sources, or if we're going mutual aid, we can do the same, plugging their information in. But with that, what we can do is with these packs is have the ability to see where each pack is on the fire scene at any given time. And that was a free app that they're a free feature that they were throwing in for us as well. Just bring it up.
And in fact, on the bottom line of this, it says labor for SCBA repairs, and then it says in service, and then over here it says in service, and it shows 0. That's one of the reasons I was asking about what's covered under these maintenance agreements. What does that mean? Is that, I don't know what that means. But
right, yeah, that's just a quick question I'll have to take back to Jimmy, because again, he was the one who spoke to him directly, so I'm not sure if that was 100%, if it was maintenance cost free, or if it was just part of it, or
so that's all
parts thing.
Once again, as we're considering this, because this is going to be burdensome for us to do this, we want to know what things we're getting to make that. So you get the 28,000 bottles, and you get the tracker, and if you get labor, are we getting $50,000 worth of stuff to start pushing us towards, maybe that's the better value for us. And once again, I know we have 2 proposals. It doesn't necessarily have to be 2. I know we have to do something, we have to do it quick. It doesn't have to be 2 proposals. It can be, do we want to, once again, do we want to buy, and I don't know what the price breakdown would be, or if everything is per thing, so there's no bargain. Do we want to buy 5 new packs instead of 25 right now? Do we want to buy 20 bottles right now? I'm not trying to make this go farther and more complicated, but there are some in-between places. There are in-between places. It isn't just this or this.
Yeah, we did, and that's one of the definite things that we considered when we first brought this up to the table. I know that, at least, again, I can speak for Chief Morris and myself, our thought process with that, and obviously certainly it can be done, was just to be able to keep continuity instead of switching between. Because we got one pack that does this, then you have another pack that does this. So if I go into a fire, I'm grabbing this one, and I got these features. Now I grab a pack that doesn't have those features, but I'm used to, you know what I mean? It's kind of like driving your wife's car. You jump in the thing, the seat moves forward and crushes you, you know? So that was kind of, we were just trying to take that muscle memory and be able to apply it 100% just to, for everybody, and a safety, obviously, but.
One comment I would make is I think at this point in time we need to purchase what is required to bring it up to standard. I think, new equipment should be part of the next year's budget. Should be brought into next year. I mean, to ask us to come up with the money in the middle of the year is not.
Well, to Frank's point, so I think we're a little. So I understand that there's a need in February, but I think we've gotten a little ahead of ourselves here because we don't have the actual dollar value of the demonstrated need, right? What does it take to just do what needs to be done to stay in compliance in February?
That's the 52.
That's 52,000.
Right.
Okay. Where's the money coming from? Because if those 2 questions aren't answered, I don't see how we.
Right.
How we can make a decision.
Correct. Now, did we determine if we have to competitively bid this?
So,
$200,000 if we went this route?
My understanding is the equipment on either route is off of a state contract, and so you'd be piggybacking off of the state contract.
Okay, so we don't have to.
Yeah, state contract.
So we don't have to bid.
You don't even bid. So then the question, of course, is how do you go about paying for this? And if you don't have money on hand, then you'll either need to borrow or do bonding or get a lease financing one. In either of those cases, It's going to be at least 20 days from the date you pass the resolution, from when you'd be able to close. And if you choose to borrow, and that's only if you choose to borrow for 5 years or less, in which case, you can do the math and figure out what your payments will likely be. And I'd be surprised if a bank would go beyond 5 years for $50,000. I'd be shocked if they even do 5 years. They might say 3. But if you did the full nut of the 200,000, let's call it, and then you might be able to do a 10-year loan or a 10-year term to your bond, in which case it's still 20,000 a year, and then add the interest to it.
We could still do that later on when we want to buy the packs. As far as,
Could do it in 2 shots, I mean,
yeah,
realistically. Because we need the packs by February, that's my,
we don't need
that's kind of a
packs,
crunch.
we need bottles.
Need a bottle.
or yeah, the bottles, sorry.
Packs are not required, they're an optional upgrade.
Do you know, I know we got 30, we've got the 39 quote here. Do you know how many we have that are,
Within compliance. So I think total we have about,
because we have more than 50.
yeah, I think the total number of them is 62 bottles total.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously we're just over that 50% mark for all of our bottles would be out of compliance.
Yeah.
So what's the number that we're required to have?
So for every air pack, per the OSHA standards and everything that we need to follow, you have to have a spare bottle for each air pack you own.
Okay.
That's why they come in pairs, and that's that whole thing.
Right.
So that's our standard that we're
But
on.
how many air packs must we have?
So currently, right now, within our fleet, we have 21.
But how many must we have?
How many must we have? I guess there's no real standard that says we have to have on hand 30 or on hand 20 or whatever. I don't think there's any specific. For every truck that we have that we could go to a fire in, we have an air pack.
Okay.
For the amount of people that would be able to do it. Obviously, we have trucks that carry 3, there's 2 air packs in them.
Yeah.
Just things like that. So it's generally a rule of thumb with however many firefighters are gonna send, there'll be an air pack in the seat.
Yeah, for each one.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, so that's what I'm saying. So I don't think that the minimum number is 50,000. I think it's probably somewhere less than that to get us beyond this February crisis that we're in, right?
Yeah, possibly. If we had 62 and there are 39 bad, and we had 23 that are not bad, and depending on what, I mean, if we wanted to try to outfit all of them, if we decided we're gonna outfit 20 of them, we need 17 more, almost.
Yeah.
These are all the pieces that we're talking about.
Right.
When do the other ones fall out of compliance?
The ones that
Ones that are good.
That's a
The ones
good
that are
question.
still in compliance?
Because they're not all the same.
Do we have 5
So,
years?
yep, we have it with a spreadsheet. So
Yeah.
following going forward, I believe it's 5 or 6 are gonna come out in 2021. And again, I don't have anything in front of me
Yeah.
because Jimmy just kind of threw it on me.
We do have that.
So yeah, I believe it's another 5 in 2021, beginning part of 2021, so pretty much a year from now. And I think the 2025, I think, is when we'll be completely shot with the other ones.
Yeah.
So I mean, yes, there is some time on the backside for the others, but so pushing that other.
Yeah, I think we need to look at what the actual budget for this year is as far as if it's specifically for trucks or what it's for.
Yeah. I mean, so we want to do what it takes to make you guys all be safe and have the proper equipment. It's just, $50,000 or $200,000 is a lot of money.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, I know Chief Morris and I really had, and I guess, the other people in the department, it's definitely a burden, and we kind of feel bad coming to the board to even bring this to light, because again, it is. It's like, that's house, that's a lot of money. And again, but we're kind of here, so we were looking at that as, maybe not an opportunity, but, here, we're spending this amount for this. If we spent, obviously grossly more, but if we spent more, what would we gain with that? Is kind of what we were looking at.
I like to say, speaking from a firefighter's point of view, breathing is very important when you're going into a fire, especially when you had a fire like they had at Appalachian with Taylor Garbage.
Yeah.
When there's toxic fumes. So not only just breathing in smoke, breathing in poisonous fumes. It kind of reminded me of the first fire I ever attended when I became a fireman, and I believe that's the one that we lost, Gavin, Chief Gavin.
Oh, at the lumber.
That was yeah. And that was after the fire.
Yeah.
So I mean, we don't know the effects of what our firefighters are gonna feel from this, but it goes back to breathing. They have to have the latest equipment. And like you said, you know, to be compatible with all other fire departments. I mean, I just imagine 2 firefighters in there, one from one department and one from another, and it's a matter of life and death, and they gotta hook up and they can't. So, whatever we can do to get the latest, I know the budget and this and that, but moving forward, I mean, we gotta do what we can.
Preston?
So I have no idea where we're going here, but one of the sniffs that we're having is not trying to jeopardize safety, but one of the sniffs is to do a, we won't call it the bare minimum, but a minimum thing at this particular time for this particular deadline. That's one of the ways to look at this. And try and figure out funding money, probably sooner than later. I'm just making this up as I go. Funding sooner or later for the stuff that we really need, whether that's in, not 10 years, not 5 years, but whether that's in 6 months, whether we figure that out with next year, next June when we do a budget, and we say, okay, now we're doing a new budget, where are we, what do we got, do we need to borrow? I guess what I'm getting at is I think that there's a little bit of feel here to not do something under the gun big right now, but we might be doing something big soon. I don't know. I'm just saying that's.
Yeah, I guess I keep saying this. I keep trying to bring the point back again. We feel bad even coming with this type of, hey, here's a big expense we all want to inherit. But it's just opportunities, and like I said, that's why we have proposals ahead of it. This is why we're providing the information. That's why Jimmy made sure that I got out of the couch and got down here. To answer any questions that you guys would have. One, because our back's against the wall in one aspect, and the other aspect is to, just anytime there's questions, just to have somebody to bounce some things off of. And
I'm going to repeat again, I'm sending back to this. Will we, if we decide to take a course where we're just going to do a little bit above bare minimum, will we be leaving $50,000 on the table with the bottles, with the prices going up, with the things we're going to get? This is not easy. Might be. Okay. You heard enough from me, somebody else.
How long do these stay good before they become outdated? Like, these are new packs that have different features. 5 years do they upgrade, or?
So the biggest thing, I guess, is the bottles, right? So they got the 15-year hydro, and that's where they can no longer be tested. They're no longer serviceable. It's just a big paperweight.
Like an LP tank.
Yeah, same thing. It's just like the thing in your gas grill.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at with the bottles themselves. As far as the packs go, it's just kind of like bringing things. So there's NFPA, which obviously is the National Fire Protection Agency. They come out with different standards, different things, obviously new features. Again, you buy a Mercedes last week, it's changed today. So there's new features and new safety things that come along with that. As far as the harnesses and stuff go, just then the maintenance costs. But, obviously something old, you have an older car, you're gonna pour more money into it. I'm just trying to equate it back to something different. But so that's what we were just looking for, or looking going ahead. It's not necessarily, anything that says in 5 years you must buy a whole new pack and replace it with this. Knowing the way the fire service is going, I can't say that might not be a thing in 20 years, but you know what I mean, because I got gear that has lifetimes on them and all that type of stuff. So I can see it coming, especially with some safety features that keep coming out. They gotta make sure you're gonna follow its compliance. We're not there yet, but.
That was my point, is they're going to spend $200,000 and in 2 years say you can't use those anymore.
Yeah, right.
No, I don't. They haven't done it yet. Like I said, we've had those ones since '04. So.
Right, so the other thing that I keep coming back to is I think we also need to know whether that equipment reserve was specifically reserved for vehicles,
Right.
or whether it is an actual equipment reserve that could be tapped for some of this.
Right. It's not that we're draining the whole thing.
And to follow his point, if that money is available and we needed to find some money today to do this, and we use that money, we can, next June or whatever, we can replace that money. We can do something, whatever. I'm just saying that's another play of that.
Well, and it might be some combination of, a bonding to do, some more and better replacement versus just getting us over this hump for February, right?
Yeah, I
Or maybe
think you know
two-step
what we have to
process.
deal with today.
Yeah.
I will just remind the board, if you do use one of the reserve funds, ordinarily you have to hold at least a public hearing.
Yeah, yeah.
on it, Just so everyone
Yeah.
keeps that in memory.
Yeah.
It's not immediate.
So anyways, if we do the $52,000 thing with the 39 bottles and the masks, we would have had to buy, those didn't come in the second, they're part of that thing, but we would have had to buy all those things anyways. So we haven't got ourselves in trouble there because we bought something we didn't need to buy. That's stuff we would have had to buy.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of that. That's $6,300
It's part of that. It's
per
part of
bag. It comes with a mask, and then it comes with a bottle, and obviously
So
the
that's part of that.
So we're
spares.
talking
Yeah.
about buying masks and bottles now?
Yeah, that's what the 52
I'm
is.
saying
The whole
masks and
pack,
bottles.
right, yeah.
The $52,000 proposal is 25 masks and 39 bottles. The masks wear faster than all the other stuff. To your point, the packs wear in various ways and how they're using this and that, so they wear out however they do whatever they do. They last a long time, but some do, some don't. But the masks get messed up, and those things are more important.
You need a tight seal.
Yeah, it's
Well, it's just a lens, basically, and that's kind of where we're at now. That's kind of the other thing we're looking at is, those things have been, with the exception, I think, maybe a handful of them, they've all been around since '04. So we've been wearing the same ones since '04. So obviously, general wear and tear and going into fires, the visibility and scratches and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just looking
I
at
just
this.
didn't
and
understand.
that's also, and then all the money matters, but that's not a giant piece of this.
No.
The masks are important, and that's not a huge chunk of the money.
And I just have one question.
Sure.
Do you want to maybe have a public hearing at the next meeting? Just put it out there, and then if it doesn't go through, that's fine. Then we could at least advertise, get it going, and then by that time we'll do our research. And stuff.
I think that'd be prudent.
Potential public hearing about the reserve.
That's what I would.
Usually the public hearing notice is only on 5 days, so
But then,
you want to, I think that's a great idea, Rod, just to
Yeah.
tentatively schedule one if it turns out that this reserve includes equipment.
and
Yeah.
if not, then you wait another month or two.
Right, yeah.
So I'll make a motion that we do that we tentatively schedule a public hearing.
And then is it to replace the air tanks, or is it to do the whole purchase? Because whatever your purpose that you're advertising for use of the, or for the public hearing is, of course, the only thing that you'd be able
I
to.
think it would be for the immediate need, and,
Thanks.
yeah, and, again, as we budget for 2021 already, I think that would be the time when we would consider doing something bigger.
And then if the reserve can't be used to purchase this equipment, is the board going to ask for a borrowing resolution at the next
Yeah,
meeting?
I think so.
Because I have to do it either way.
Right.
And then, I'd be shocked if a bank would lend the money for more than 5 years, so I think it won't be subject to a referendum, but, if you want it limited like that, I think the life of the useful life under the state finance law for this is 15 years. So theoretically, you could go out to a 15-year term if a bank would lend you the money.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if that happens. So, my intent is to keep it just limited to 5 years.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but,
That would mean 10,000-ish, 12,000-ish a year
Yeah.
in
Right.
payments, of course.
And somebody second it?
Second.
Okay. Vote.
Yes.
This is on the.
This is just to have the
Just to have, and this will be on a Tuesday, because our next meeting is
Tuesday.
Monday.
Oh, yeah, right.
Wednesday. It's Tuesday.
Fran?
Yes.
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 And this is not, we haven't made a decision.
No, absolutely.
We're just putting things in place to try Because
No, it's a big decision, right? We don't want to knee jerk to buy something,
Yeah, so
and we don't want to push you guys to, make a decision one way or the other either. It just,
Do these bonds were bad like February 1st, or is it like the end of February?
so unfortunately, it's one of those situations where they're just handing you enough rope. So essentially, it's February. I don't think it's like February 3rd, 4th, 2nd. It's not like your inspection. It's like the month.
Just like my inspection.
Right, yeah, right. So I hate to say it's February 28th, but I hate to also say it's not February 1st. I know that, and again, and just talking to Chief Morris, not trying to speak technically on his behalf, but on his behalf, I know that we've had conversations, we really would just like to have it, at least have a plan to where we're going on the 1st. Because, then we have to make a decision. Are we going to pull those $29 or $39 out of service and then be limited to say we can only allow 10 people to go inside because these are what we have in reserve.
Yeah.
So we're just tactically looking to go forward, but obviously whatever decision is made here at the state level. Because obviously that played into mutual aid for us because,
Right.
things like that. So it basically comes down to tactics going forward.
Anything else for Andy? I had it on my list to say thank you everybody that today.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I saw it today, they not officially released, but said it might have been caused by a cell phone battery
Oh, no.
in the recyclable.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of that.
Yeah.
Those lithium batteries,
Yeah, unfortunately, they had one heck of a mess. It went very well. Every crew worked very hard. And I mean, there's people from Broome County and beyond, obviously, from the news, I'm sure everybody saw. But yeah, it was an effort, and all their chiefs came up to all of us following, and were very appreciative of our time. I know we were one of the many departments there, but I believe that we was there the longest, at least from one of the Tioga County departments from a standpoint that way. So they're very appreciative of our lending them a hand.
But they needed our ladder.
Yeah, they're very appreciative for that. It did a lot of work
Yeah,
Friday night, so.
Mr. Mayor, I think in our spare time we should come up with a list of do's and don'ts involving these batteries for our community. Because a lot of us do have these batteries, and
Yeah, somebody else.
we need to be educated.
Yeah.
We need to be
Recyclable,
educated.
Yeah.
Well, it's not at Taylor Garbage.
Well, that would not be a good place.
Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
One of the reasons we have the department head reports is so that you guys can leave if you don't want to stick around for the rest of the meeting.
It's my only day off this week, so if you guys don't need me for anything else, I probably will slide out the back door.
So bad. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we're glad to.
Thank you for coming.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Tracy?
I don't have anything other than the activity report I already handed out, and the motions were already made.
Okay.
All of that.
I don't have anything additional. The Lake Street clock.
Yeah.
You wanna go, I'm off Friday, the 10th. So we'll go down and find some spots where we put it, so we can bring it back to these games.
Yeah.
Okay. Clock that used to be on Lake Street, we're gonna put it back somewhere. So we're gonna go, I'll go with Jeff, we'll take pictures and we'll bring it back here because we have to decide where to put it. There's a couple spots out there.
Whatever you want, sir.
Somebody asked a question about,
If you want it to work, though.
I don't know if those are,
It kind of works.
kind of works,
It's an atomic clock.
like everything else.
Right, twice a day.
It does,
Twice a day is accurate.
it's supposed to set itself and all that, well, it doesn't do that because if you listen to your satellite radio going down Lake Street, that doesn't work
No,
either.
it's no signal.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, but
Keep trying, it says no signal every time.
Twilight.
There's,
So maybe just not on this.
So we have to
Maybe
be
also-
Put it across the street, put it like at the end of maybe.
Yeah.
No signal.
Well, if we can basically put it wherever.
Some of that light takes a while.
Exactly.
Somebody asked about the ice rink at Marvin Park. Is that ever
Non-existent.
non-existent? We used to do it 3 years ago.
Used to flood those, Stephen.
Carl's had one pavilion there.
Years ago.
Carl's used to be cold outside. Yeah, it's like.
Those days,
Freeze at the end of the next ring.
The problem we had the other day
called a swimming pool.
is whomever we get to maintain that thing does a very good job, but they freeze up the hydrant. And then the hydrant blows, or 6 feet below it blows, basically. We have to dig everything up and fix it. It's just not a good situation. This year it's a little late. It takes about a month and a half to actually get the liner that goes in the thing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this could be part of the DRI design, could it not?
That's what I was thinking, right?
Yeah.
Because there was
That's
interest in it,
something for
but
now.
I see, that's, Brandon's doing one that they like send in 5 years.
Yeah, like that rat park.
Yeah.
I haven't quite figured out what they're actually doing, but
Me neither.
they're like flooding the baseball field.
I don't know, they're gonna keep it frozen when it's 50 out.
That's the other problem. But I'd say this year it's non-existent, but if you want me to work on it for the following year, we can.
I think it's something we can look at with the DRI. Like we got $1 million some over there
Right.
to do stuff, undefined and stuff.
What would that do
Last
to our
time there was-
liability?
Pardon me?
What would that do to our liability as far as insurance or?
Didn't change.
that?
Didn't ever change.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I mean, we
a
got-
good question for, I mean, potentially, of course, you'd be a little more exposed to risk because you've got an attractive nuisance and people flying around with razors on their feet.
Put a sign that says at your own risk.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question for the insurance agent to see if it increases your premium.
Yeah.
But it did in the past, but this isn't the past.
That's true.
The last year that we had it, the blue line, and the village had to pay a $5,000 water bill. So that's why we decided we weren't gonna do it.
Yeah.
That little ice bottle by the fire station.
Yeah, starting one right there.
Thanks for the forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was because the water continued to run, we didn't know that.
Right.
Yeah, because of the break in the pipe.
Yeah. But DRI might be able to do that, because
Right.
I'm not even sure what that money's for down there.
Just for improvements, stuff like that.
We've got to
Pickleball
come up with our
court, yeah.
design, yeah.
I mean, we gotta come up with it all, I don't know. That's one of the things, so we were meeting also on the 10th, to talk about that kind of stuff, what to do next with each one of those projects.
Who were we meeting with?
It's with Really Sweet and then each department had invited them and they, because we're gonna have to put like RFPs together and we're gonna have to hire like design firms to come up with these ideas, like what do we do with them?
This is Friday?
Friday at 1 o'clock.
Let's keep it limited to less than a month.
Yes, less than a month. I'll be there, so 2 more can come if you want.
Here?
Yeah. But it's mainly informational about what do we do next, so we keep the ball rolling.
Okay.
With Julie.
You done, Jeff?
What time?
Yeah, that was
1 p.m.
What time's
that
that?
was one of what I was gonna say. Yeah, I'm
I'm
done.
always in looking.
Here.
Rusty?
From the police chief.
Oh,
We
yes.
don't have a police here. The police chief would like to hire 2 gentlemen part-time.
Yep.
One gentleman is just retiring, Vestal officer, 25 years experience. His name is Terry Kintner. And when he hires these part-time officers, they're generally just available a few hours, but we need many of them to fill our shifts. So he would like to be able to hire Mr. Terry Kintner part-time at, do I say the rate of pay here? At $25 an hour.
Oh, he told us 22.50.
I'm sorry?
2250 is what you put in my email.
Okay.
I think it's,
25 for the retired gentleman, 2250 for
He's
the...
got 25 years.
yeah, it's, right, it's years of experience. We made that decision a couple of years ago, so it would be $25.
25, that was fair, yeah. So I make the motion that we hire to get her.
Now, is this to
$25 an hour.
replace hours that are for gentlemen who are leaving?
Could we have a second?
Is this replacement?
Second?
Yeah, I'll second.
No, we're undermanned. We don't have enough officers to cover shifts, and we constantly need more part-timers. So it's not
Just
like-
going to the pool of part-time.
it just goes into the pool. And this guy will come, or whatever they set up, he might come for one shift this week. He's not gonna be here lots and lots of time. So we hire many part-timers, but it doesn't bring us up to a budget or anything. He's still, those people get pieced in.
You're still covering the same number of hours.
Gotcha. Okay.
Helps us spread the workload out.
Driver.
Right. All right, so we got a motion and a second.
Yes. Any other discussion about?
Mr.
Jerry?
Can you,
Harry? Fran?
Yes.
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 I move that we allow the hiring part-time of Tim Colgan, Colgden, I believe is how you spell his name, part-time police officer at a rate of $22.50 an hour.
A second.
Any discussion on him? Same deal. He's a current,
He's a Johnson City police officer, but he wants some extra hours.
Right.
This is all kosher, and he will also not be able to work very much, but he's another
As
long
needed.
time.
has worked in the village of Wiggle.
He used to work for the Belgian one-time police officer.
Any discussion? Do we have a second?
A second.
Okay. Any discussion about? Fran?
Yes.
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 Yes. That's on my list. Next item is payment of bills. Are we getting payment of bills?
Okay.
Look for it. Some big bills in there. Mainly all of them related to phase 2.
I'll make a motion to approve.
A second.
Any discussion? Vote.
Yes.
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 Yes.